Hello friends, welcome to Learn Easy. Today in this session, we will discuss consumer surplus and we will do a sum on it. Consumer surplus is a monetary measure to the utility a consumer derives for his consumption of goods and price paid for it. If we draw the graph, y-axis represents price and x-axis represents quantity. This is the demand curve. So here P star is price and Q star is quantity demanded at the price P star. This consumer surplus corresponds to the area under the demand curve but above the price. Assuming that income effect is so small that it can be disregarded. So this area. So we can write this area is consumer surplus. The reason for consumer surplus is that the reservation price is decreasing and the person would have been willing to pay more if the seller could have changed the highest price possible. Let us discuss about inverse demand curve, because the next sum we will do, there the term has been used, the inverse demand curve. Inverse demand curve is the demand curve but with P instead of Q on the left hand side. As for example, P is equal to A plus B Q. A and B are constant. Number. Sum is, the inverse demand curve is P is equal to 100 minus 10Q. The consumer consumes 5 units of goods, that is Q. How much money would the seller have to pay to compensate her for reducing her consumption to zero? The consumer is not paying anything for the goods. This is one condition. If the consumer is buying the goods at price of rupees 50 per unit, how much does she need to get compensated when the seller requires her to reduce her purchase to zero? This is Q. Y-axis represents P, x-axis represents Q. This is A, B, C, D. Suppose it is E. $100, so it is 100 when Q is 0. P is equal to 100 minus 10Q. If Q is 0, then this is 100 and it is the consumer if the consumer is buying the goods at a price of rupees 50. Suppose it is rupees 50. Here the demand curve is, inverse demand curve is P is equal to 100 minus 10Q. This one. So if Q is equal to 0, then P is equal to 100. This is at point A. Again, consumer consumes 5 units of goods. That means Q is equal to 5. So, if Q is equal to 5, then P is equal to 100 minus 10 into 5 is equal to 50. This. If Q is equal to 5, then it is 50. How much money would the seller have to pay to compensate her for reducing her consumption to 0? The consumer is not paying anything for the goods. Then the seller have to pay the money for area this is consumer surplus. This area A, C, D, E for Q is equal to 5. So it will be area B, C, D, E plus area A, B, C. Fifty into 5 plus 5 into this is 100 minus 50 divided by 2. Area of a triangle is half base into altitude is equal to 250 plus 125 is equal to rupees 375. This is the answer. For B, if the consumer is buying the goods at a price of rupees 50 per unit, how much does she need to get compensated when the seller require her to reduce her purchase to 0? When the consumer is buying the goods at rupees 50 per unit, the seller has to pay for the area of triangle ABC. When the consumer is buying the goods at rupees feet per unit, that means the consumer is paying this amount and the seller has to pay this amount. That is, it is equal to 5 into 100 minus 50 divided by 2 is equal to rupees 125. This is another answer. That's all for today.